to have ambassadors from houses so that we're laughing because like you have like ambassadors that like, okay, you're from this house, so you're the one that's making sure that your house people will get in or something like that. I think that would be a nice idea to streamline this. And also like this conversation now kicked off, so everybody got some new knowledge, got to know love and what's going on. Spread it.
Agreed. I've been taking notes. Still don't know where the food is. I don't know what's going on. Food is on borrowed time, just like a lot of people are here right now. But yeah, I think it's very possible. I think in my head I'm thinking like sometime in spring I'd like to do something else. And it could incorporate a lot of what we discussed today. But I agree with you. A lot of people that should be here right now are not here right now. And I'm not trying to blame anyone or anything. But like I think that something needs to be done about that. About how we bring those people into the room, because I will happily have meetings with leaders of houses and see what we can do and do more. We have like some resources, like we have something where we have the opportunity to change things, and it's very possible. It's very within our reach. It's very like everyone's come here, everyone is here now. Like everyone here can do something or talk to people in the house or talk about the experiences that we've had here today. And like we can really make an impact and change those fucked up statistics, because like it's not fair. And HIV is going down in a lot of people, but it's not as much in young people, it's not as much as in black and brown people, and I hate that.
We're legends. I have one more thing. I think another suggestion that I would be including the talks that people don't know. Do you know what I mean? So like you say the war starts at this time, and then people get here late, right? And then, no shit, and then 15 minutes in the beginning, they're gonna get because we're gonna be talking about shit. Do you know what I mean? And then they won't have a choice. Like they won't have to sit down and think, oh, the ball starts at 6:30, so I'm gonna show up at 7. You know what I mean? Yeah, right after. There's a hi guys, at the back, at the front, exactly. There's a fun fact. Fun fact is, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Look under your chair and they're fun dog. Do you know what I mean? Like, force feed the girl. Do you know what I
mean? But definitely that, I think, kind of like the idea of like those like certain people being in the room, I think it's just outreach. Because here we do have like a quite diverse panel of different houses in the UK. And I think it's just the first of a lot. And I think seeing and hearing, and you know, when we spoke about you explaining it to me, I think it's very interesting, because the UK as well, it's like, you know, there's great talent, but again, I always say it gives very much Game of Thrones, like everyone's in their own section, compared to, I would say, like the DBS. Like, you see the DBS, they grow so fast, I feel in my head, because of how well connected they are. And like, I think things like that to just connect us as people, as a scene, more than just, it's my house versus yours, versus yours, versus yours. I think that would then be easier to then make things like this happen on a larger scale. And I think, again, it is the first of many, hopefully, because what you guys are doing is great. And yeah, I think the more they go along, you know, the more they'll grow. And I think conversations like this, you know, we see more eye to eye compared to, I'm seeing you as my competitor. And I think that alone is going to just be a good stepping stone for us as a scene in general.
I think the food might be just weird. Okay, but before, I mean, we still have time, but does anyone have any questions for anyone up here? About the scene, about ballroom, about food, about anything?
We don't hear you.
so this might really sound a bit stupid, but like I didn't even know that there were scenes in the UK. I mean, I had suspected as such, but like I think events like this are really helpful because like if it wasn't for this, I would have been in the dark for who knows how long. So first of all, thank you to Lockdown for this, and I was wondering if you had any advice on how to respectfully get into the scene, like how to like ask, how to get into it without being respectful, like knowing how to like properly navigate it.
That's a valid question, first of all, because a lot of people do get into the scene disrespectfully. So that's a valid question. I would say if you don't already know people in the scene and you want to figure out how to get in, start by going to a ball and actually learn what it's about firsthand. I think for me personally, that's way better than reading about it or watching it online and just going to a ball and see what categories you connect to, what categories you don't. And then that way also, you might learn who's throwing classes, you know, if it's vocal effect you want to learn, or if it's a runway or whatever, you know. So yeah, I hope that kind of answers your question about how to sort of navigate getting into this subculture. Anyone else want to add?
Shout out to Ballroom Clips UK. They like to film all our balls that we've had for the past year or so. If you also want to know the functions, like it's the hotspot. They will probably be posting the next ball for the next 6 months if we have anything. Also that, like things like that, knowing where balls are. And I think don't also be scared to speak to people. I think with ballroom is like, it's so good, like, you know, you want to give that respect, but also don't feel like you can't speak and like just be there, you know? It's like, I think a lot of people have this fear when they meet also ballroom people. It's like, oh my gosh, like ballroom is scary, like, like, when I think of ballroom, I think of like, you know, that kind of mean girl vibe of like, you can't get into this club, Like sometimes if you just be there, kind of like Amani was saying, go to the balls, see what's happening, speak to people, if you chime with people, especially like, you'll go to a ball, meet like 5 new people every single time, and have conversations with them about anything. And it's like, do that, be open to talk to people, and just connect, because then it's like, you can meet people from different houses, different opinions, different days, and then if they don't know, they probably know someone that does. And I think start creating, I guess, that ballroom network of like, okay, you know, Amani's, you know, she's a performance girl, I'm asking her certain things. Okay, she doesn't know much, or she knows someone who's better knowledge on runway. Okay, speak to this person, you know? I think that, don't be scared to talk to people, don't be scared to like, be there, and actually, like, immerse yourself in it. That's definitely a big thing I would say. Like, don't feel like you're going to a ball, sitting at the back, oh, like, can't speak to these people, can't do anything. Like, speak to people. Most people are gonna have something to say. And yeah, like, generally, just be there, you know?
I think you said something really important that you didn't know unless this happened. So I feel like that's a bit more on us, that we should do more to promote ballroom. Yeah, to promote ballroom, because if, like you said, if you didn't see this, then you probably wouldn't have known that there was a ballroom scene. And in actuality, it took me a while to find the ballroom scene here. Like, yeah, like, and I was like looking for it. I was like, where is it? And I just couldn't, I couldn't find it. And it took me a while. So I feel like that's something that we need to take into account, that when we are throwing our functions, to do a little bit better with marketing ourselves in quiz spaces, and not just trying to like sell tickets to our function. And I would also say that there's a kind of a difference between a ball walker and a ball spectator. And I think it depends like what it is that you want out of ballroom. Some people just like to spectate. And I feel like when you spectate to an extent, there's things that you're not going to fully get. You're not going to be fully immersed to a degree. And there's people that, you know, you want to walk. And I feel like sometimes the best way to get into ballroom is to walk balls. I think a lot of people spectate and then they don't really actually have a full understanding of the ballroom scene because they never get to create that ballroom network that Japan was talking about, because you're just watching the functions, right? But the best learning experience is ballroom is to walk the functions, I think.
Do you have any other questions?
I think Japan made a pretty good point, and you actually reiterated it. And you talked about creating community that's more than just, oh, it's my house versus your house. I do think that there is an aspect of ballroom that perpetuates a cycle. That's sort of like, I see a lot of people that come into here sort of like bright-eyed and like so ready to sort of like just be there. And I feel like it gets to a point where I feel like only the strong can get to that point where they're actually able to build community. And I feel like, you know, a lot of people go on their stories where it's about, oh my God, like you're saying all this now, but when you first saw me, you were a fan, da 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 da. And a lot of people don't really want to be in that fan position. And then what happens is people that come in all like, you know, wearing their hearts on their sleeve, a lot of them like can't get past that first barrier of like we're just keeping it real, the cliquiness, do you know what I mean? But yeah, and when you said that ballroom can be scary, or sorry, ballroom isn't like a scary place, I feel like for a lot of people it can be, actually. And I think that I feel like sometimes the onus should actually be on us to sort of reach out to those people that are newer rather than like them to like ballroom people, because that can be very scary. So like, I just wonder how you guys think that that cycle can be broken of breaking other people, I suppose. It's no shame.
I think what you're saying is definitely right. And I think it's also very important which moment do you reach out to people. If people are at a ball, people got their game on, they're coming in with a plan to win, all of that, with their houses. So that might not be the right space to approach somebody like, hey, I got a question for you. Maybe she's on you know, a different kind of mode. So I think these kind of events are there to, okay, break the ice. Like, okay, now you see the real people, the people behind the persona that's at the ball. So yeah, I guess it comes back again to these kind of events in which like,
no thanks. No.
accessible. So that's more accessible and yeah, more casual, exactly. So people are, you know, not in their ballroom mode. And because people have that, and that's fine. That's part of the game that we're playing when we're in these ballroom spaces.
I'm gonna take one more.
Wait, I'm so sorry. I know everyone wants to eat. Go ahead.
I think another way to make ballroom maybe feel less scary, especially to those who this is for, is to remind them that this is inherently your culture and your history. And it's kind of like what you were saying when you're on a ball and you're a beginner, or maybe it's your first time walking, you don't have to treat this like an audition, you know? Sorry, I'm laughing closely, but yeah, I think I feel like it's not so much a problem in the UK, but having traveled quite a bit last year to places where there's not as many black and brown folks in the ballroom scene, when you meet the black and brown folks in the ballroom scene, they feel like the guests. And I think that's wild. I'm not saying like walk up there and think like you own this whole space, but this is shit that your like ancestors made, you know, especially for the trans girls, especially for black and brown queer folks. Yeah.
I have an unpopular opinion, I know. I have an unpopular opinion, I feel like ballroom is a competition, like you said, so it is for the strong.
But for real, you know, there's a lot of mediocrity going on in ballroom, and in Europe there's a lot of mediocrity going on, and it is being advertised. Okay, people celebrate mediocrity, and I think part of also how we can, you know, like there's a lot of beef going on, and you don't bring it on the floor like that. Like I think, you know, like why is your mouth open like that? So I think we all think that. So, you know, and it's also our ambition to, for example, have Zoom calls with people like Aisha, Oluna, or Thierry, who set up the Kiki scene, you know, and have conversations and learn from great people who, you know, have something to teach to us, because they are there. They are more than happy to have Zoom calls with us, to teach us, to even fly over and share stuff with us. So I think, yeah, we should. It all boils down to education.
We'll take one more question, and then are we good? Yeah. Khoriander.
I'm sorry. Did I get somebody?
Hi. First of all, I want to say it's really cool to see all you guys up here. You guys have a lot to say. You're all very intelligent and smart. And I don't know, someone I'm not from the ballroom scene here in the UK, and I moved here like a year ago, and I don't think I've seen anything like this before, so this is really cool, exciting, and I hope it continues to happen. My question is for all of you, and it's more for the people in the scene. I guess, kind of, how do I say this now? So there's problematic people in our scene, right? What do we do about it? How do we go about it?
I don't know where to start with that, to be honest with you.
Dealing with problematic people in the scene could go one of two ways. You could actually speak to leaders, that's the like really grown-up stuff to do. Or I would take the high street and just expose them online, get other people to I mean that in the nicest way possible. The scene doesn't need, like, history can't change for ballroom, and people tend to think they could do that. The history has to stay within what has already been taught. So in that case, when people come in and start exploiting and problematic stuff like that, the easiest way is to get everybody to come together and we all like take them down. Just the other day, somebody thought it was coming over here to teach a class, and that was canceled. So it's very much power in, it's power in people more so than yourself. Also, just speaking to leaders like legends. There's none here tonight, sadly. But speaking to reach out to them on Instagram, whichever way you feel possible. But dealing with problematic, also you can ignore them, you know? You can ignore them, but that doesn't help, so.
So I just want to reiterate that you can get your vaccines behind us. I'm really hungry, I'm tired, let's get some food.